वेलकम सिटीजन्स ऑफ यूट्यूब। आपका एक बार फिर से स्वागत है मेरे चैनल पे। आज मैं रिएक्ट करने वाला हूँ ट्रूथ अबाउट पॉलिटिक्स इन इंडिया फीचरिंग अतुल खत्री। एज फार एज आई नो ही इज़ अ कॉमेडियन। दिस वीडियो is on the channel TRS Clips. So let's find out what is the truth about politics, and then I'll give my thoughts in the middle of the video, or maybe at the end of it. Here we go.
Because you are your age and at the same time you're hanging out with people my age and stand-up comics and all, do you see a difference in mindset of the two generations and difference of capabilities also?
Yes, so I'm on one end, I am a member of all of my WhatsApp groups, with all my old uncles, all in their 50s, all my friends and all that. Other end, in the evening I meet comedians or people like you, and definitely there's a lot of very different mindset. I don't know whether uh, I need honestly more active participation from youngsters, more into, I wouldn't say active politics, but in some, because if you have to change something on a national level, you will have to, you'll have to get yourself in the muck here to sort of change it. And I don't know whether it'll, these political parties, they are all of them are crooks, to be honest with you.
And there's barriers to entry.
Barriers to entry, there's nepotism, biggest nepotism is there. And whether you always hear this, the good guy, but finally the system pulls him down, or the system also makes him corrupt, or the system sort of changes him, or he finally gives up in the exasperation and forget it, yeah, let me go back to what I was doing. This is not my cup of tea. And it's a very dirty, and across the world, it's not only India, America, name any country, Pakistan, whichever countries you talk about have elections, and it's the same across. So I hope it changes, really hope it changes, because we really require the change.
Yeah, I actually think, honestly, I genuinely feel it will. I once asked Technical Guruji, who's a very big tech YouTuber. Now he has established businesses outside of YouTube, and most YouTubers are either doing this for fame or money. Okay, and even fame, I think it reaches a saturation point at some point after you're doing your YouTube. You don't want it much after a point as a YouTuber. So I asked him, why do you do this? Why do you do so many YouTube videos? What do you enjoy? Like, what do you get out of it? And he said that somewhere I like the ability to have influence. Now, that's another way of saying, I mean, people would call this ability to have influence thing power. You gain power out of being an influencer.
Correct.
Anyone who becomes even 100,000 follower influencer on Instagram has some amount of power in this world.
Of course.
Then I met Abhi and New. Have you heard of Abhi and New? They are those, that guy wears a red t-shirt on Instagram and he does news, like he does modern issues.
No, I'm sorry.
You might have seen their videos on Instagram.
Okay.
So we've had them on the podcast, one of our best podcasts till date. And I asked them a lot of these questions about how do you actually get in and change society through politics, because they study policy a lot and they themselves want to get into policy. But we came out with a theory on the podcast, which is that if I'm 27 now, so in 13 years, in 2033, I'll be 40 years old. So will many of the other influencers who also want to change up things. If a law, and also keep in mind, for 13 years, we'll be doing social media. So we'll continuously accumulate people, probably even more than, or at least at the same level as cricket and Bollywood, if not more.
Yeah.
And I personally feel it might be more just because of how snowballing is happening on social media.
Correct.
So in 2033, maybe we'll be in a position where a lot of good social media influencers who have money to back what they want to do can get together and create a new political movement. But there have been thoughts like this. Do you think it's a possibility?
100%. It's very, and I think the people are really looking at a change.
They could have the following that they want, like to create a movement. But every movement should be backed by an ideology. So I don't see any ideas being put forward except the fact that they want to change things. But what that change would be, I am yet to find out.
The fact is that, I mean, I'm again sorry talking about politics.
No, go.
But I mean, Congress as a party, just to say, it's been wiped out. But still today in some states, they are winning. I mean, 1 year they won, I think Rajasthan they won a lot of other states. You wonder how they are so incompetent. They don't have a bloody leadership.
They won Rajasthan, okay, so the video is probably 5 years old.
Which also, I actually tweeted about it. It's actually, if there's a good chance, and I think in 2019 when BJP won, and the fact that BJP, for example, is sorry, I'm talking about politics because your question is political
Go for
heavy.
it.
Yeah. So is that because they won, and the amount of campaigning, the thousands of crores they spent, honestly, if you've done a great job, you don't have to spend money. The people will still vote for you. And yet in 2001, they came back with a thumping majority. I'm saying it, I tweeted that time that it's very easy now for a startup political party, to do a good job, to have the right people. And in 2024, you have 5 years, you can actually make a dent, and but it has to be grassroots level, because honestly speaking, till now, YouTube, Twitter, social media is just hardly, minuscule
Yeah.
of a population which is getting
Yeah.
this.
And also the people who will control the votes are from the interiors of the country.
Absolutely.
500 million of which are not even on social media yet.
100%. And what happens is over there, why, today, why has fake news become so big? It's a proper propaganda. It's a proper agenda. One of my daughter's friends, she did a project in UP, in the villages. She's from Bombay. I think they did some project in the village of UP, where they said that those guys are uneducated. They never read. They can't read the newspaper. They don't have televisions at home. I'm talking about a small village in UP. But thanks to Geo, they all have 4G now smartphones they have got. Okay. And what smartphone has? WhatsApp. And what WhatsApp has is news. So they look at that as legitimate source of news, And that's why there's this IT cells of both parties.
Okay, so they can't read newspapers, but they can read messages on WhatsApp.
Just pushing the agenda. 4 guys killed our holy mother cow in a village next to you. Will agitate any person. They think it's legit news. Maybe it's not even legit. Maybe they were eating goat for all you know. But then what happens is this will come to our thing. Oh, 4 guys raped a Hindu girl. Oh, come on, start killing. 4 Hindu guys raped a Muslim girl. It is there. There's a lot of fake news, and we ourselves have been in this pandemic. In Bombay, I got so many fake news we were getting, where the police had to clarify, hey, this is not, we have not made it. They said police will not from tomorrow, this is open, that is open. Next day, poor guy, that commissioner of police is announcing on Twitter, hey, this is all fake. Can you imagine there's somebody out there with a laptop, with a Adobe, some software, making fake news, putting Mumbai police ka logo, putting his signature there, and then having the thing to, put it up on WhatsApp and then spread it across. And and just put it up, and then this stupid news anyway becomes viral, and within seconds everybody.
I get what he's trying to say. Okay, people are doing it for an agenda, but I think this agenda may be rooted in something more selfish than anything to do with any political movement. I think people on social media are just trying to get some traction, so they come up with these elaborate ideas, the fake news that he's referring to, just to get some traction, just to get some likes and views. So maybe the conspiracy is not as deep as he's implying. It's just to get the likes.
In India has it on their WhatsApp. So it's a big machinery which a lot of effort goes into that. So I think, so can you imagine, as you rightly said, that's the really problem. But hopefully, they start realizing it. But it's it's a very big problem. Half these guys are not educated. They can't reason between. I would not say really reason between right and wrong. They know that, but I'm saying that education really helps. And unless I think, and I am telling you all, for most politicians, they rather keep their voter bank uneducated. They want to keep them poor. They want to put them in that so that they never start questioning.
Yeah, but they may not be able to stop the internet.
And 100%, but I don't know. Internet will probably get curtailed for all you know. Tomorrow, for all you say, they'll say, okay, ban YouTube in India. Ban these exercises. They'll give on a list. Ban Ranveer. He's getting too much into politics. Ban Tech Guru. Ban Atul Khatri. Ban comedians. It can very well happen. It can happen. I'm not saying by anybody can say. Then nobody wants dissent here. It's we'll do our stuff. We want to this. Just there was a Hyderabad, a Telangana municipal elections. Municipal, can you imagine? And
this discussion is going in every direction. I don't know what's the end goal here is.
Political leaders of BJP were there campaigning. So that's the kind of machinery they are putting in, willing each and every. They know they'll win this election. Next year they'll take the Lok Sabha over there. So it's that kind of a machinery which they are putting in willing each and every, they know they'll win this election, next year they'll take the Lok Sabha over there. So it's
Oh, okay. So the implication here is कि municipality का election बहुत छोटा सा होता है. Why should big BJP leaders go there? So they are too big to campaign for a municipality election. Well, I see some problematic idea behind this line of reasoning. Why should any political leader be too big for any election?
it's that kind of a machinery which you're fighting against, and these are political parties who have been there in India for the last 70 years. So you're fighting against those. I'm saying if
He's fighting against people who are campaigning for municipality election.
somebody can do it, well done. I think we deserve a good opposition or a good political party which is really looking for the welfare of India without dividing people. Really, you have these issues. I'm telling you. I mean, we're looking at today. Today just I was reading one girl, Muslim girl. She had to abort her child because some Muslim couple. This love jihad thing which has started in UP, and I think they were already married. They had children also, but still they went and beat up the husband. The woman was put in some room, and she like miscarried her child. For all this unnecessarily. I mean, this is just it's a proper I would say propaganda which is running, and I'm not really blaming BJP. Congress they would also have done some they would have looted the country and gone away. So it's everybody has that, but very good if the young YouTubers and the young this like I we should be spending more time on science, on technology, these young kids, rather than sitting like bucks and and sitting and tweeting against, or Congress is just sitting and tweeting and against it. Read, improve your knowledge. I think that's what the time in 2020, the time first child of the year was an Indian, Gitanjali Rao, right? The first time child of the year 2020 was an Indian girl.
I feel generally when you absorb knowledge, you get a wider perspective. And mostly knowledge is spreading out in India. It's already begun in urban metros. Like if you talk to 18-year-olds of today, they're very different from even what I was. Like they talk
Of course.
Yeah, just because they've been loaded with information since they were children.
Correct.
They got social media in their hands when they were 4 years old.
Yeah, actually.
So that information gives you a wider, even though there is that social dilemma thing of polarization, this is one massive positive aspect of social media also, where it's giving you a lot of information to absorb. Quick information. So, I mean, compare a 15-year-old sitting in 1980 in some village in one corner of Madhya Pradesh versus that same village in Madhya Pradesh right now. Maybe there's no development in the village, but those kids have the internet. And
100%.
So now they know about lions in Africa, and they know about what happens in Canada and what happens in Japan, probably.
They also read the fake news on
Or
WhatsApp.
at least they have access.
Yeah, this is what I realized in stand-up comedy also. Like when for example, when you hit, like I said, Udaipur example, where I did comedy for Udaipur. You don't have to change any references, Like during my time, they were said the kids of Bombay, Delhi are much more smarter than the kids of Nagpur, for example. It's no longer the case since many years now.
Yeah.
Because the internet is the level, playing field. Everybody is consuming the same content. Everybody has the same WhatsApp, same Facebook. And maybe in those smaller cities, they have more money, spending money, power than you and me in Bombay, Delhi, So that happened like long time back only, where we saw that, information spread. Or they're also wearing the same Nike shoes. In fact, they can afford it much better than you, because here you are spending half the time in traveling, partying, that you have to think thrice before buying their expensive Nike. But they have probably bought it the first day, and Nike is there today. Nike is there in Nagpur, it's there in Meerut, it's there everywhere. Just to give you an example of Nike as a brand, as a shoe, as a so that like that. I mean, I went to Ludhiana.
All courtesy of capitalism, as discussed from the previous video.
Many years back, I think in 2013, for a show there. And they said Coimbatore, one of the amazing, the Mercedes dealer here sells more Mercedes than in Bombay. Because they have so much money, they don't know what to do. But let's buy a Mercedes,
Yeah. I mean, I feel that if at
don't know
all
what to do, so
a
let's
lack
buy a
of an
Mercedes.
opposition is the biggest political problem in the country, and this is nothing against any political party.
No, they have dug their own grave, the other political parties. It's not that
Yeah.
we didn't give them opportunity.
But I feel this information spreading out and all will create an opposition at some point, if that is the need of the hour, say in 2030s.
I really look forward to it, and all the best. Seriously, I would say this should be a wake up call to
You know
all.
why I also say that?
Hmm.
I mean, you can study the case of Trump and how he got elected. It was basic business and sales skills and communication skills, which I actually feel are lacking in our country. There are less sales skills, less communication skills, and less business skills.
Hmm.
This country needs just a few, maybe 4 or 5 really sharp businessmen to enter politics and change up everything.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen that Bad Boy Billionaires show?
Yeah.
So, I mean, a guy like Sahara, he definitely controlled a lot of money, but he also controlled a lot of power. He had at his peak. I'm not talking about what eventually happened, and he did that based on good sales skills. He just
Yeah.
knew how to sell himself and his brand and his idea.
Correct.
And businessmen don't enter politics because of what you said. That I don't want to get into that keychad. I don't want to get my clothes dirty. But I also think that's going to change in time.
Yeah. It
Yeah. But who says they don't control things? They definitely do. Behind the stage, behind the curtains. They are pulling the strings.
should change.
So that's my big hope.
And as long as good people come in politics, is always welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll go as far as saying I do believe the people at the top, even if they are good, and I read this in a book by Yuval Noah Harari, he talks about the concept of power, especially political power. Your whole reality gets morphed, where even if you go to a party with 21 of the top businessmen in the country or the top celebrities in the country, everyone wants to suck up to you because you're the one in power.
Correct.
Now that's the 21 top celebrities in the country. Imagine what the people who work with you are treating you like. So people who work with you are treating you like you are the shit. I will do anything for you. So it morphs, no matter who you are, it morphs your own mind as well.
100%. Yeah.
So I feel that even if the people at the top have good intent and they have, these dreams for India, it's all the layers under them that end up corrupting their mindset
Maybe.
or corrupting the country. All the negatives you speak about any political party may not be the guy at the top. It may be all the layers under it.
Yeah.
But because I mean that some particular person is the face of a particular political party, all the blame goes on a Rahul or a Modi.
Correct.
So anyway, that's
I totally agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you here because I genuinely feel that Modi ji must be having a great sense of humor.
But it should. The blame should go to the top because it is the top that is ultimately responsible because we voted for the top. We saw a face in the papers, in the media, in the newspapers. The votes were asked with the name of the top. So the top should be blamed.
He's talked about sense of humor many a times.
Yeah.
This is the third or fourth time he's talked about it. But it's the bucks around him. This people who layer up that power give him.
Just to point it out, there is nothing wrong with the word bhakt. Being a bhakt is a good thing. Maybe not a
Much there's that, and it's not that Modi has just come in. He has worked hard for it.
Yeah.
He's been a political party from RSS and from years.
Yeah.
It's not that he just rose up one day and said, "Okay, hey, I'm the king."
I do appreciate that he is gutsy. Like he will do even if it's a miscalculated move, he will try doing something gutsy. What I don't appreciate is obviously the lack of inclusion and all that's happening in our country lately.
And this is all planned. This is all planned. It's a part of a bigger agenda. Which maybe the extreme right wing is forcing on him, and then when you're swimming with the sharks, then you have to swim with them. Then you can't say no to them.
Well, I had high hopes when I played this video because I saw the title Truth About Politics in India, but it didn't pan out the way I thought it would because the discussion went in every direction. Well, let's just say the truth about politics, what I got from this video, is that there is a need for change. What that change would be, nobody knows. But let's see if that change comes around. Also, there was a little emphasis on the system. Like, even if the person is good, individual is good, the system tends to corrupt the person. So, let's see if the future leaders pinpoint the drawbacks of the current system and try to change it, try to overcome those drawbacks. Also, well, I guess that's it. There wasn't much to unpack in this video anyway. The direction the discussion went in was like very haphazard. So, okay, we'll see you guys in the next one. Give your suggestions in the comments to me personally. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.